Yes, Coach.
Okay. As I said to the team, I look at the stat sheet and I don't know what to tell them on where we lost the game. They fought their butts off. I mean, they fought. They believed. They didn't flinch. We're playing a great team. There's definitely some teams in this league that could win a national championship. Tennessee is certainly one of them. Rick Barnes, I have no idea. Maybe he hasn't qualified yet years-wise. I'm not sure, but I have no idea why he's not being bandied about as being a Naismith Hall of Famer. I have no idea, because he's that good and he's been that good everywhere. And they got a tremendous team. They've got an older team. They've got a fast team that's deep in the backcourt. They got a really strong and athletic team that's good up front. And our guys went toe to toe and battled it. And I think at the end of the day, they just made a few more shots. We missed a couple layups. There were a couple of swings. Christian's missed layup and he's so open, probably more open than he thought he would be. And so we missed the layup and we gave up a three on the other end. That's a 5-point swing. Those things are tough. So there's segments of the game that you can look back at, but really at the end, they just made a couple more plays, a couple more shots than we did. And Jackson's three goes down off Aaron's steal and it's bedlam, but it didn't happen. So I'm proud of their fight. Really appreciate the way the fans were here. Appreciate the way they've been here all year, the way they stuck with them. And our guys believed in, and we just came up short, but it certainly wasn't from flinching. It certainly wasn't from lack of belief, and it certainly wasn't from not wanting it. And this team prepares and practices their butts off. And so the way they played tonight is indicative of the way they train. So go ahead.
Okay, we're going to go into questions. First, we're going to go to Mike Griffith, and then we're going to go to Mark Weiser.
Yeah, Coach, it's pretty apparent the way your team's playing. I guess I would just ask him. I mean, you've obviously coached a lot of ball, Marquette and Indiana before Georgia. I mean, Dane Bradshaw commented during the game. I mean, looking at your team's record, looking at the deficit, Okendo's getting laid out in front of the bench on a loose ball when you're down 13. Where's that emanating from? Where's that come from? Because most teams 1-13 or whatever, you're not seeing them diving for balls late in second halves when they're down double digits.
Well, I think the bottom line is I never walk in here coaching like I'm 1-13 or 1-14, and don't prepare that way. I left here Saturday night, maybe 11:30 after a noon game, just digging in anything we could find for Tennessee. And I think what these guys do, what these players do, is they respond to that, right? They respond to game planning. They respond to the work. There's an inner pride, which we're preaching all the time, right? That control what you can control, and you can absolutely control your effort. You can absolutely control. You can't necessarily make the shot go in or make the shot not go in on the other end, but you really can control your execution, and you can control how hard you fight, how tough you are. And that's what we're building day after day. I wouldn't tolerate it any other way. And because I wouldn't tolerate it from me. So I'm certainly not going to tolerate it from anybody else, because that's not how you grow in life. How you grow in life is you take a look at adversity, and it either softens you up or it hardens you up. And there's no middle ground. And we just got to continue to do that. And that's what I expect them to continue to do. That's all I do. And that's all I've ever done. And it's all I will ever do. So having a group of people that will continue to bring it. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's not easy. And I'm not saying we always have a belief, but because it's very, very hard. They're young kids that really want to win. I mean, they really, really want to win. And there'd be a huge difference if they were accepting losing, and they're not. They're not. I sure as heck aren't. I'm not. So, and they aren't. And I'm really proud of the way that they fight and get better every day.
Tom, what was Curio dealing with when he tumbled, hustling for that ball near the bench?
I'm not sure. He wasn't out very long. I'm not even sure. I don't know if it was his stomach, got the air knocked out of him. I'd have a good read. I was going to get him a blow quickly anyways. He played his tail off. I mean, he really did. He's getting so much better. I mean, he's blowing up in front of everybody's eyes. I mean, he really is. And we have a lot of guys getting better in here, but he's really, really elevating his game. So he played a really long stretch at the beginning. Christian played a long stretch at the beginning, probably longer than what we would have wanted, but it is what it is. And Cario, I think, responded pretty well.
Okay, next we're going to go to Anthony Dasher and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Coach. I think it was like the 7 or so minute on to about the 3 minutes or so while y'all making your run. Braylon wasn't in the game much of that time. Was he okay? Or they just got coached off of that?
Yeah, okay. we practice to have small lineups, and so when they're as big as they are, and he was in at crucial times, but when they're as big as they are, right, and we don't have a foreman, right? Like we do not have one. I mean, they're over there helping coach my team, PJ and Jalen. So we don't have that. So with that being said, we've got to try to find a way to steal possessions. So when we can put 5 shooters on the floor, 5 people that they have to guard, and they've got 2 bigger guys in, we have to look to do that. And we did that more tonight. And so a little bit, it was just that, but Braylon didn't do anything wrong. He played fantastic.
Yeah, Coach, you got it to 4 right there with about 6 minutes left. It looked like you had it going pretty good. Where'd you say you kind of got away from you in those next couple of minutes?
Just a couple of shots. But again, say that Aaron gets the steal. If Jackson makes that 3, it's a 3-point game, I believe. Correct?
Yes.
I don't have the book in front of me. I don't have a book yet. So there's a book here, but I haven't looked at it. I think we just missed a couple of shots and they made it. I think it's basically that simple. We continue to move the ball. We continue to run our actions, but they just made a couple more plays, and then we had to foul, and we knew who we wanted to foul, but then we had to foul to extend the game. So I think that's really all it was.
If I could
another minute, I would have liked one more minute in this game. Really would have.
If I could follow quickly with Braylon, he finishes 6 of 7 in this game. Too, he's 4 or 5, I think, in the first half. Do you need to run more stuff through him? Maybe does he need to touch it more?
We run a ton through him. We really do. We run a ton through him. Remember now, just because he's not scoring doesn't mean he's not facilitating. And outside of high pick and roll, where we're pretty much most everything's going through him at some point. Whether it's in the high post. So he's a playmaker. And playmakers don't always score a lot of points. Now, when you put him in the post, and he can score down the post, that's one thing, but we also have to get those bigger guys out of the post because they're a big team, right? And that's important. But I thought he did a really good job. I mean, we finished with a couple of points of beating a tremendous team. So I'm not going to split hairs on a couple of things like that. I get exactly what you're asking, but he does a lot more than might meet the eye because of the way he facilitates so much offense. Does that make sense?
Okay, next we're going to go to Lance McCurley and then finish with Jordan Hill.
Coach, I know in a close game you said you were playing with 5 guards, but when y'all were getting out,
I didn't say we were playing with 5 guards, did I?
I thought you did.
Guys. Well, we don't have 5 guards. I was playing a smaller lineup. Maybe I did. I misspoke. We don't have 5 guards on the roster.
Or with a smaller lineup.
With
a smaller lineup on the floor. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. But I know within the experience with Josh Taylor, when y'all were getting rebounded, why didn't y'all go to him somewhat in the second half? And what's been the deal with Cam McDowell the past few games? We haven't seen him in there.
I played the guys that I played. The other guys they're doing well. I played the guys that we played. And so that's really what I did. And we had other guys available, but I went with other guys that were in there. So rebounding the second chance points ended up, we actually scored 1 more point than they did second chance. And we were definitely concerned about the rebounding tonight. But we really came down to just a couple possessions into the last minute and a half of the game. So I'm not sure lineup was any part of the issue.
Tom, in that first half especially, you guys did a good job defensively. I think they only shot 39%, had like 7 turnovers. Just what did you feel like, especially in that first half, was really working defensively?
Well, I think we had 9 straight stops at one point. I think I heard that on the bench. To me, we were limiting them to 1 shot. We weren't getting beat off the dribble. We were challenging shots, and we were letting our defense set the action. Right, set the attack, and they were able to get out and run with that. But I think the most important thing against a team like Tennessee, we're with Arkansas, we played too fast. They want to play really fast, and we played really fast with them. And I think it caught us in the second half some because we don't have the depth that some of these teams have. And so we wanted to make sure that if we weren't scoring quick, that we were running offense with them. But to do that, you've got to get stops. So if we got stops, can get up on the break, great. If not, let's make them work. But I thought our defense did a lot of really good things tonight.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.